Today we are doing interviews at the Universal Peace Federation event, which is to do with music and art and how that can bring peace to the world. So I now have another fabulous guest. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Nirmal Thapa. I'm based in Kathmandu, but I keep traveling London and other European regions because of promoting culture and networking globally. So I chair the organization called Nepal Center Internationals. It works culturally internationally.
And you also have a major connection with UPF as well.
Yes. In Nepal, I made. I'm not sure, but it was around 2002-3. I made Father and Father Moon, and it was a big gathering at that time. I was in quite early age, and I listened that first revelations at that time. After that, I had connections with the Honorable Eknath Dhakal, who was the first peace minister of our country, and he's a very good friend of mine as well. So he honored me in 2005-6 as a youth ambassador. So then we regularly connected each other, and I like the motto. And in London, Robin and this UPF 43 Lancaster helping to hosting so many cultural events. So this is
What,
really wonderful experience.
what do you think about Nepalese people? They seem to embody peace, don't they? It's almost like it's part of their DNA. What do you think?
See, Nepal is not a big country, but it's a small between India and China. So we have a very diverse culture. So still we have hardness because of the mountains living. It we are struggling, so we are under the poverty, but still we are rich in the language, cultural, and different things. So you see, whenever people coming from Nepal, or if you visit Nepal as a tourist, you will see people are rejoicing, enjoying. So even they have no proper educations, they have no health, basic health services, still they are happiness, on their forehead and their houses, everything is there. So this is something significantly. It's not that I'm telling I'm a Nepali, but people are Nepal. They really, you see, with full of energy that I found. So you can identify easily.
What's your vision for the future of Nepal?
I can see this. The future of the Nepal is the great. Always, we have to progressives. Not only Nepal, we have to uh, very first thoughts for the globally. We can see the war alarms everywhere, but if we talk about the cultures that connects, so if we connect the a culture, we just see the little angels. You see, the innocence goals, the expressions, their dance, their performances were amazing. So similarly, in Nepal, we have a long centuries traditions that we have a living goddesses. So we believe the little angels like godly figures in Kathmandu in several cities. So I see very good futures. Youths are having the great knowledge. They are tapping the technology, and we have very good neighbors, two neighbors, India and China, in between. So we are getting profit from their development. So this is pretty golden future I can see in the Nepal in coming decades.
How do you see UPF supporting your vision?
Of course, the UPF that I found very interesting because they believe in the one family, they believe in the brotherhood, they believe in the sisterhoods. And it's not only about the religion. Religion is something like people created. When you see the people in the tribals era, there were no religion. If you see some Mayan, if civilization in Mexico, you will see they are still praying the nature gods. So if you see with the Australian people, if you go and the red Indian, the red American, so if you see all the Viking people or tribal people in India or Nepal, so they have a similar culture. So people created the religions, that kind of things. And so it changes, it goes on. But the main motto of the UPF is I found very interesting is very humanitarian. They have all the embassies all over the world. They are spreading peace. They are working really hard to maintain the family harmony as always the society, and then leads the nations. After nation it goes the globally. So basic things, before the United Nations, I feel that the Father Moon visioned this great idea to unify the globes and network the humankind. This is pretty interesting, and I see the great future.
And you're a prolific author as well. Tell us about that side of your work.
Yeah, I do mostly writing poetry and stories. So again, I see in this contemporary world we have a lot of problems, but I see if there is a problem, there is a solutions. So I my emphasis is always toward the solution. My thoughts always very optimistic. So I always emphasize on the positivity, very inspirations things in my writing, whether it's a poetry or stories. So this is very philosophical, not religious, but more into spiritual. So more into peace and compassion. I'm working on it, sir.
Do you feel that UPF should be doing more events like this? Is this something that you think resonates with people?
Of course, there is some misunderstanding with some the global leaders who thinks they are more patriotic, but they thinks they are, keeping some illusion among their peoples as well. So if you see any countries recently, few years ago, we saw some incident, major incident in Japan, the former prime ministers. So we can see the relating with some controversy with the UPF, but we see very clear reasons they have that they are working with the people to people is very ground task they are working. So at the same time they have to work with the government to government. So United Nations is kind of paralyzing due to the global the big nations in political egos, and they have a lot of problems. But if you're silently doing among the people, doing the people to people, nation to nation, they are networking. They are Asian, Middle East, European, you can see they are having tremendous events. So I think they have to, the focus is they are doing in the people to people as well as the government to government, they have to address them because they are the people, they make the policies. They just make the vision for the next generation. So that requires, I think so.
Excellent. How can people see your books and how can people get in contact with you?
I have a website, so people can read me these days. Social is very
And the
good to
name of the website?
nirmalkumarthapa.com. It's Nirmal Kumarthapa.com. So they can reach me, and of course, I feel I write poetry in a fact. So this my poetry is a non-fiction works. So people have a different imaginations or, but I see in this world we have so much factual things. Something we're having here is an imagination in other part of the world. So similar, these things I vice versa with bringing all the contents from different parts of the world, and I just assemble the words in my capacity that the orders. So I hope people enjoy and get some insight by reading my books.
Thank you so much for your time
My
this afternoon.
pleasure.
It's
My
been a great
pleasure.
pleasure talking to
My
you. Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.